What's up, Brochillas? It's Cole from Brochilla Gaming, and today I'm going to be doing a review of Need for Speed Rivals. This is the next game in the Need for Speed series. Not sure which number, there's quite a few of them, but this was one of the, I guess you could say, launch titles for the PS4 and the Xbox One. Now, Need for Speed has been a really popular game throughout kind of the history of gaming, really. I'm not totally sure when the first Need for Speed launched, but it was more of an arcade game, arcade style, just kind of racing around and playing. Now, the way that the game has played has kind of been changed throughout the different generations of Need for Speed. Some of them have been set races, other ones have been open worlds, well, relatively small open worlds where you're playing against an AI, but you're required to go to certain spots and do certain things. Something like the Run, that was more of all set races, but just kind of in a cool new concept. That's not really like a career type thing. It's more of one giant race mixed into a bunch of small events, which I thought was a really cool concept. And this kind of brings that whole idea of Need for Speed pioneering concepts of racing games, and this kind of takes that to a whole nother level. Now, the way that you play this game is as soon as you get into the game, you go to the start screen, you hit start and everything, you then are basically, you spend a little bit of time. It's a not super long loading screen for games, but then you spend a little time and you get into a server. Now, I think the maximum amount of players you can put on a server is 10. Don't take my word for that. That might be different, but I'm pretty sure it's 10 is the maximum amount of people you can have on a server. And they can either be a cop or a racer. Now, most of the time, in fact, all the time, I play as a racer. I just like the idea of it. There's more things to do. Usually when you're a cop, if you get in a pursuit, you're gonna lose them. You're not gonna be able to catch them unless you're very, very good. I really do like the idea of having a kind of like a multiplayer world. Like, it's a forced multiplayer world. Because you kind of basically are, the way that they've designed it is you're racing, but you're not racing in terms of you go into your menu and you say, okay, I want to do this race now, and then you go do it. You're racing in terms of almost how a real drag racing thing would work. You just kind of find a guy, and he's ranked at a certain level, and like he is a certain thing, and essentially you're racing for the money and for the level. And from there you can kind of level up and work your way up through, I guess through the ranks of street racers, which I really do like the idea of that versus having a bunch of set races that you have to do. So the way that the game works is you go into a hideout, and then from there you choose where you want to spawn, and you spawn from there. You have like a GPS that'll take you to different events and things. And in terms of events, they are either spread out across the big open world, and you kind of stop at them and start them. Or if you come across a racer, you can press a button and challenge them to a race. If they accept it, you then race, or they can also decline it if you want. If you come across a cop, what happens then is that you are then forced into a pursuit. They will try and chase you and arrest you. You will try and get away. If you're a racer, if you're a cop, then you try and not let them get away. And it is a really cool way of playing the game. It's a lot different than your traditional racing game. In terms of graphics, this game really is beautiful. I mean, you look at it for a racing game and for a Need for Speed game. I mean, really, one of the things I love about this game is the graphics. They motion blur the hell out of it, which, to be honest, I think is a perfectly okay thing to do. That's what this game is. It's supposed to make everything seem really fast and really interesting. As you can see, I'm starting a time trial right now, which is, as it sounds, a time trial. Trying to get from point A to point B the fastest. But, I mean, really, um, it's it's just great how this game runs. I mean, the motion blur makes it seem fast. It makes it really beautiful. The lighting effects are beautiful. The way the light reflects off the road, based on different conditions, is beautiful. I mean, they did a beautiful job. And this is, by the way, I forgot to mention, running on the Xbox One and being recorded using the game DVR. It runs at a super smooth 60 frames per second the whole time. Great frame rates. I mean, really, there's nothing bad I have to say about the graphics of this game. In terms of the size of the world, you can't really go up onto the mountains or off-road or anything. In terms of off-roading, the only thing you can do is if there's two roads, you can go in between them, really, and do what I just did, kind of. But that's also because they want to keep you to the roads and not have you cruising just all over the hillside and stuff like that. There's a lot to process, and this game also doesn't really follow the rule where if you can see it, you can get there. Like those mountains, you can't really get there. But they do have a very good wide range of different terrains that you can take. You can go out to this flat ground, like you can see here. It goes out to kind of desert area. Then it goes up into the mountains, and you kind of have like low-level mountains that are kind of like Yosemite National Park. Just like those aren't necessarily low, but just from when I've been there, it kind of reminds me of it. Just kind of rainy-ish, but still mountainous with big tall trees and things, and then you can get all the way up into the mountains where it's snowing. In terms of game mechanics, you do kind of feel the difference between two different cars. You can tell the car is faster, accelerates faster, maybe turns and handles a little better. But it's definitely not as dramatic of an effect as something like you get in a game like Forza. And then road conditions, it doesn't make a huge difference. The road conditions don't change a whole lot based on what they are. At least I haven't noticed that. Like when I get to the mountains and it's snowing, I haven't noticed the road conditions change that much. So, that's kind of how the game works. I mean, really, it's supposed to be a game. It's supposed to be a racing game, not a racing simulator. It's a game that you play because it's fun, and that's why I play this. If I don't really want to, spend my time dealing with, kind of the campaign of Forza or something like that, I turn to this game because it's just fun to mess around with. You can kind of do whatever you want. As you see I'm doing here, they put these little cool like stunt jumps and things in for you to do. And I saw that really tall like thing that they were building that was supposed to be part of the bridge. And I was hoping there was a way to get up there. Unfortunately, there isn't. But I guess, the game designers couldn't really throw that in, which I totally understand. So, to be honest, in the end, that's really all I have to say about the game. I mean, it's a great game. I love the concept of it. It's a lot better than some of the other concepts that they've done. But, I mean, I think in this game they've really perfected what the Need for Speed series really needs to be. And that's just this amazing, fun, open world that looks beautiful, that just has a lot of guys on it, and you just mess around. And I really do like the idea of that. So if I rate this game, definitely be a 9 out of 10, maybe higher. I rate a lot of games this way, but really I only play the best games that I find. I don't necessarily buy a lot of bad games, so usually a lot of games that I get are going to be rated very highly. The only game that's ever not been rated highly by me is definitely Call of Duty Ghosts. But this is a great game. Definitely suggest getting it. It's a lot of fun. And really, guys, that's basically it. So, thanks for watching. This has been another video from Brochilla Gaming. Actually, really quick. So, as you can see, I just went into the snowy area, just to show you what the snowy area looks like. And that's what it is. As I said, you don't feel a whole difference in the road conditions or anything. But anyway, guys, another video from Brochilla Gaming. Thanks for watching. Spam that like button, and I'll see you guys next time.